Hello, dear reader. Welcome to this special story about a man who made the whole world laugh, without saying a single word. His name was Charlie Chaplin, and he became one of the most famous actors in history. He wore a small hat, big shoes, and a funny mustache. He walked in a silly way and made people smile, even when life was hard. This story is written in easy English, so you can enjoy it and learn at the same time. You will discover how Charlie grew up, how he became a star, and how he used comedy to touch people's hearts. His life was not always happy, but he never gave up. He believed in kindness, creativity, and hope. Let's begin our journey together. Chapter 1. A Difficult Beginning. Charlie Chaplin was born on April 16, 1889, in London, England. His full name was Charles Spencer Chaplin. He lived in a poor part of the city. Life was not easy for Charlie when he was a child. His parents were both performers. His mother, Hannah, sang songs on stage. His father, Charles Sr., was also a singer, but they had many problems. Charlie's father drank too much alcohol and left the family. His mother became very sick and could not work. Sometimes she had to stay in the hospital for a long time. Charlie and his older brother, Sidney, had to take care of themselves. They were very young, but they had no choice. Sometimes they didn't have enough food. Sometimes they had no home. They had to live in places for poor children called workhouses. These places were cold and sad. Even though life was hard, Charlie loved to watch people. He liked to see how they walked, talked, and laughed. He learned how to copy them. He was very good at making funny faces and movements. He didn't have toys, but he had imagination. One day, when Charlie was only 5 years old, something surprising happened. His mother was singing on stage, but she lost her voice. She could not finish the song. The manager asked little Charlie to go on stage and sing. He was nervous, but he did it. The audience laughed and clapped. Charlie felt happy. That was his first time performing. From that moment, Charlie knew he wanted to be on stage. He wanted to make people laugh. He wanted to bring joy to others, even when life was sad. Chapter 2. A Young Performer. Charlie Chaplin was still a child when he began performing. At the age of 8, he joined a group called the 8 Lancashire Lads. This was a team of young boys who danced in music halls across England. Their special dance was called clog dancing, where they wore wooden shoes and tapped their feet in rhythm. Charlie was small, but he was full of energy. He quickly became one of the best dancers in the group too. The boys traveled from town to town, performing in theaters. Sometimes they danced in big cities like Manchester or Blackpool, and sometimes in small villages. Charlie loved the excitement of the stage. He liked hearing the music, seeing the lights, and feeling the audience clap. It was a new world, full of color, sound, and joy. But life behind the scenes was not easy. The boys had to sleep in cheap hotels and travel long hours by train. They didn't earn much money. Charlie missed his mother and brother. Still, he worked hard and stayed hopeful. He knew that performing was his chance to escape poverty. By the time he was 11, Charlie was already known as a talented dancer and comic. His father, who had once been a music hall performer, helped him get more jobs. Charlie began acting in small plays and comedy shows. He learned how to make people laugh without speaking, just by using his face and body. In 1908, when Charlie was 19, he got his big break. He joined a famous theater company called the Fred Carnot Troupe. Fred Carnot was known for creating funny shows without words. The actors used mime, a kind of silent acting with big movements and expressions. Charlie was perfect for this style. He could make people laugh just by raising an eyebrow or walking in a silly way. The Carnot Troupe traveled all over England, and even to America. Charlie performed in a show called A Night in a London Club, where he played a drunk man trying to stay polite. Audiences loved him. They laughed and clapped every time he appeared. Charlie's timing, charm, and creativity made him stand out. While touring in America, Charlie caught the attention of film producers. They saw something special in him. He wasn't just funny, he was unforgettable. Charlie didn't know it yet, but his life was about to change forever. Chapter 3. The Birth of the Tramp. In 1913, Charlie Chaplin traveled to America with the Fred Karno troupe. He was 24 years old. The group performed in big cities like New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles. Audiences loved Charlie's funny movements and expressive face. He didn't speak much, but he made people laugh with every step. One day, a film producer named Mack Sennett saw Charlie perform. Mack was the head of Keystone Studios, a company that made short comedy films. He thought Charlie had something special. He invited Charlie to join his studio and act in movies. Charlie had never made a film before. He didn't know how cameras worked or how to act for the screen. But he learned quickly. In 1914, he appeared in his first movie, Making a Living. It was a small role, and Charlie didn't wear his famous costume yet. A few days later, something magical happened. Charlie was asked to play a funny character in another film. He went to the dressing room and picked out some clothes. Baggy pants, a tight coat, a small hat, and big shoes. He added a little mustache to his face. When he looked in the mirror, he saw someone new. A man who was poor but proud, silly but kind. This was the birth of the tramp. Charlie first played the tramp in a short film called Kid Auto Races at Venice, filmed in February 1914. The character was a hit. People laughed and cried. The tramp was not just funny, he was human. He tried to be polite, even when life was unfair. He helped others, even when he had nothing. He was clumsy, but he had a big heart. Charlie said the tramp was a man with a soul. He was a dreamer, always looking for love and adventure. He walked with a bounce, twirled his cane, and tipped his hat. He became a symbol of hope for people who felt lost or lonely. Soon, Charlie was making more tramp films. Each one was short, only 10 or 20 minutes, but they were full of emotion. People around the world watched them. They didn't need to understand English. Charlie's movements spoke to everyone. In just 1 year, Charlie Chaplin became a star. His tramp character was loved in America, Europe, Asia, and beyond. He showed that comedy could be more than silly, it could be beautiful. Charlie had found his voice, even without words. Chapter 4. A filmmaker with heart. By the early 1920s, Charlie Chaplin was not just a famous actor, he was a star around the world. But Charlie wanted more than fame. He wanted freedom. He wanted to make his own movies, tell his own stories, and share his own ideas. So Charlie became a director. In 1921, he made his first full-length film. It was called The Kid. This movie was very special. It was not just funny. It was also sad and sweet. The story was about the tramp finding a little boy who had been left alone. The tramp takes care of the boy, feeds him, protects him, and loves him like a father. The boy was played by a young actor named Jackie Coogan. He was only 6 years old, but he was amazing. Charlie and Jackie worked together like a team. Their scenes made people laugh and cry. The kid showed that comedy could have emotion, could touch the heart. Audiences loved the film. They saw the tramp not just as a clown, but as a real person, someone who felt pain, joy, and love. Charlie had created something new, a movie that mixed humor and humanity. After The Kid, Charlie made more films. He worked slowly and carefully. He wrote the stories, directed the scenes, acted in the lead role, and even composed the music. He wanted every detail to be perfect. In 1931, Charlie released one of his greatest films, City Lights. This movie was about the tramp falling in love with a blind flower girl. She thinks he is a rich man, but he is poor. Still, he tries to help her. He finds money for her eye operation, even though it means losing everything. The final scene of City Lights is famous. The girl can see again. She meets the tramp and realizes he is not rich, but he is kind. She smiles. He smiles. No words are spoken, but the moment is full of feeling. Many people say it is one of the most beautiful scenes in movie history too. Charlie made City Lights during a time when movies were starting to use sound. But he chose to keep it silent, with music and sound effects only. He believed that silence could speak louder than words. With The Kid and City Lights, Charlie Chaplin proved that he was not just a comedian. He was a true artist. Chapter 5. Speaking without words. By the 1930s, the world was changing fast. Machines were everywhere. Factories were growing. Many people lost their jobs. Life became harder, especially during the Great Depression. Charlie Chaplin saw this sadness. He wanted to talk about it not with speeches but with film. In 1936, Charlie made a movie called Modern Times. It was funny but also serious. The tramp works in a big factory. He turns screws all day very fast. The machines never stop. The boss watches him through a screen and tells him to work faster. Even when he's in the bathroom, Charlie shows how machines can make people feel small and tired. In one scene, the tramp is fed by a robot machine so he doesn't waste time eating. Silly but also scary. Charlie is asking, are we losing our humanity? In the film, the tramp meets a poor girl who steals food to help her family. They run away together and try to find happiness. Even when life is hard, they smile. They dream. They keep going. Modern Times is a story about hope in a world that feels cold. Charlie made this film almost completely silent, even though sound movies were popular. He believed that actions could speak louder than words. Then, in 1940, Charlie made a very bold film, The Great Dictator. This time, he spoke with words, for the first time in a full movie. He played two characters, a poor Jewish barber and a powerful dictator named Adenoid Hinkle, who looked like Adolf Hitler. The film was a comedy, but it had a serious message. Charlie wanted to warn people about hate, war, and power. He showed how dangerous leaders could hurt others. He made fun of the dictator's silly speeches and cruel actions. At the end of the movie, the barber gives a speech. It is one of the most famous speeches in film history. He says, "We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness." Charlie's words touched millions of hearts. He was not just making jokes, he was fighting for peace, justice, and love. With Modern Times and The Great Dictator, Charlie Chaplin showed that comedy could be brave, could speak the truth, could change the world. Chapter 6. Farewell to America. By the 1940s, Charlie Chaplin was one of the most famous people in the world. His films had made millions laugh and cry. But not everyone liked his ideas. Charlie spoke about peace, equality, and kindness. He didn't support war or hate. Some people in America thought his views were too strong. They began to say bad things about him. In the early 1950s, the United States was afraid of communism. Many artists and thinkers were watched closely. Charlie was one of them. He was not a U.S. citizen, even though he had lived there for over 40 years. When he traveled to London in 1952 to show his new film Limelight, the U.S. government said he could not come back unless he proved he was morally and politically fit. Charlie was shocked. He had given so much to American cinema. But now he felt unwanted. So he decided not to return. He moved to a quiet town called Vevey, in Switzerland, with his wife Una and their children. He lived there for the rest of his life. Even in exile, Charlie kept creating. His film Limelight was one of his most personal works. It told the story of an old clown named Calvero, who had lost his fame. He meets a young dancer who wants to give up. Calvero helps her find hope again, and she helps him remember his own worth. Limelight was not just a movie. It was a reflection of Charlie's own feelings. He was older now. He had faced rejection. But he still believed in art, love, and laughter. In his final years, Charlie received many honors. In 1972, he returned to America for a short visit. He was given a special award at the Academy Awards. The audience gave him a long, standing ovation. Many had tears in their eyes. It was a moment of forgiveness and respect. Charlie Chaplin passed away in 1977, at the age of 88. He was surrounded by his family. The world mourned the loss of a man who had made generations smile. But Charlie's spirit never left. His films still live on. His tramp still walks, still dreams, still makes us laugh and think. Chapter 7. The Legacy of Laughter. Charlie Chaplin is gone, but his spirit is still alive. His little tramp, with the bowler hat and funny walk, still makes people smile. His films are more than old movies. They are stories about hope, kindness, and courage. They speak to everyone, no matter where they live or what language they speak. Charlie showed that laughter can heal. He taught us that even in hard times, we can find joy. His silent films used no words, but they spoke loudly to the heart. He believed that feelings were stronger than speech. And he was right. Many filmmakers today still learn from Charlie. They study his timing, his gentle humor, and his deep emotions. His work helped shape modern cinema, showing that movies can be both funny and meaningful too. Charlie's life was not easy. He faced poverty, rejection, and even exile. But he never stopped creating. He turned pain into art, and sadness into beauty. That is why he is remembered. Not just as a comedian, but as a true artist. In schools, museums, and film festivals, people still talk about Charlie Chaplin. Children laugh at his silly dances. Adults cry at his quiet moments. His message is simple: be kind. Keep dreaming. Never give up. Charlie once said, "A day without laughter is a day wasted." That idea lives on. Every time someone smiles because of his films, Charlie smiles too. Somewhere in the stars. Chapter 8. A Life of Light and Laughter. Charlie Chaplin's story is more than a tale of fame. It is a journey of dreams, struggles, and hope. He began with nothing, just a poor boy in London. But he had something special, a heart full of imagination. With courage and creativity, he turned sadness into laughter and silence into music. His little tramp walked through the world with kindness, showing us that even small people can make a big difference. Charlie faced many hard times. He was judged, misunderstood, and pushed away. But he never stopped believing in the power of art. He kept creating, kept smiling, kept reaching out to others. His films remind us that life is not always easy, but it can still be beautiful. A funny walk, a gentle smile, a helping hand. These small things matter. Charlie taught us that laughter is a gift, and love is the light that guides us. Even today, his message is clear: be brave, be kind, keep going. If you enjoyed this story about Charlie Chaplin, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps us grow and share more inspiring stories with you. Leave a comment below. What did you learn from Charlie's life? And don't forget to turn on the bell so you never miss a new video. Thank you for watching. And keep smiling, just like Charlie.